And I'll tell you why you guys need to systemize. It's very simple. This is why you need to systemize. Because those decisions that you make, for most of you, are emotional decisions. And because you don't have a system, to extract the data, you're stuck with results. But if you create a system, if we add a layer of systems right here, you know what comes out right here? It's called data. Data. And data can feed your decision-making process. But if you only have results and they're not analyzed, if they're not within a system, you don't have the data. You don't have the data, then the next decision is going to be a shoot from the hoop. A hip. Whatever, right? French-Canadian talking this morning. You're going to shoot from the hip. How often are you going to succeed? Well, God knows when. Some of you will succeed, some of you will fail. And that's why, statistically, most people will fail. Because if you keep on shooting from the hip, eventually you're going to miss. Eventually you're going to miss. And it's not a matter of when, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Everyone will fail eventually. And that's why we know that more than 95% of businesses will fail in the first 10 years. It's almost all businesses will fail. Because nobody has a system. Those who have systems will extract the data from the system, and then that's going to help them make better business decisions. Let me prove that to you. Everybody stand up! Stand up! I want to prove that to you. Let me ask you a question, okay? If you've ever lost money, any money, maybe you lent money to someone, you lost money. You invested in a bad deal. Maybe for you it was a business loss. You've ever lost any money in any way, shape, or form, please remain standing. If you never lost money, you can sit down. Oh, it's like 95% of you, right? It's like 99% of you. You've all lost money before. Okay, good. Let me ask you another question. If it was more than 1,000 rands, remain standing. If it was less than 1,000 rand, you can sit down. So the young ones, in their 20s, like, no, I haven't lost 1,000 rand yet. But anybody who's who's in their 30s or 40s or more, we've all lost more than 1,000 rands, right? What if it was more than 10,000 rands? You can stay standing, otherwise you can sit down. If it was more than 100,000 rands, you can stay standing, otherwise you can sit down. And if it was more than 500,000 rands, please remain standing, otherwise you can sit down. Good. Let me ask you a question. Terry, do you mind sharing? Terry, tell me the story. What happened?
It goes back to the Land Rover story.
Yeah.
And we didn't put systems in place, and we just went balls to the wall when we got the license, opened up retail stores everywhere, didn't know the first thing about what we were doing, and within the first sort of 2-3 years had to close down 3 of them. And it was
How much? How much did you guys lose approximately, do you know? A lot. Thank you. What about you, Wouter? What's the story?
Yeah, I borrowed money to a friend of mine.
Yep.
And we started a restaurant together.
Yep.
And I was in property and I couldn't be at the restaurant all the time.
Yep.
And he skimmed from the top, and long story short, I closed the restaurant down.
Yep. Guys, thank you for sharing. You can sit down. Thank you so much for sharing. Let me summarize what these two guys have said right now. That's what they both said. Both of them just said, Marco, at some point in my life, I made some emotional decisions where I should have made some fact-based intellectual decisions. Is that correct? Yeah. It's always the same. I go all over the world. I ask the question all over the world. And the ones or twos that are left at the end, those that have lost millions of dollars, sometimes millions of dollars, they always say the same thing. Marco, I have made some emotional decisions when I should have made some fact-based decisions. And that's only half of the story. That's only half of the story. Every one of you had lost some money. And every one of you you've lost those monies because of those emotional decisions that you've made. Every one of you. But it's only half the story. The other half we cannot assess, but it's the money you haven't made. The opportunities that you've missed out on because of you making emotional decisions. Well, but you don't get it, Marco. I don't like this guy. I don't like it. I don't like that guy. It's like stupid. What do you think? You think I'm going to do this? Let me give you an example. I work with companies all the time in their sales department. And then one of the first things I find out, this is what I do, right? I go inside of the business and I'm like, okay, we're selling cars, all right? So who's the best salesperson in that room? Okay, and then I find out. And then I sit down with him for half an hour. I find out exactly what he does. Then I go to the other people and I say, why don't you do it? I do it with the furniture companies. I have a client here in South Africa who owns furniture companies. They own like 6 or 7 stores. And I went to different stores and then I met with the top salespeople at every store. And then I deciphered exactly how to do it. It's simple. They all have like a method. And then I go back to all the people and I say, this is what these people do. Why don't you do it? Well, yeah, but that's Jerry. Yeah, but Jerry makes 5 times what you make. Well, yeah, Jerry is like, yeah, he doesn't mind like, cold calling. That, that's beneath me. Right? But Jerry makes 5 times what you make. Jerry's kids will go to a private school. Your kids are stuck in some podunk, cheap public school somewhere where they're getting a subpar education because you're making an emotional decision. You don't want to make those stupid phone calls that Jerry is making. I don't know how much money it's cost you in your life. I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot for me in my own life. That ego, the emotional decisions. So one of my goals today, one of the breakthroughs today for you is that you stop making emotional decisions and you start making fact-based decisions. Please write it down. Breakthrough number 1. Stop making emotional decisions. Start making fact-based decisions. How hard can that be? Right? Very. Yes. Because it's about overcoming yourself. Still really hot in this room. And it's... No, it's too early. It's too early to take my jacket off. I mean, come on, guys. You don't want to see...
He's waiting here for 20 minutes already.
Huh?
Debak is waiting for 20 minutes.
Dude, I'm sorry. Dude, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I made you a reputation. It's just that look. It's just that look, man. I'm telling you.
This way you take out my comfort zone.
Yeah! Whoa! There you go. There you go. That's exactly what it is, right? Taking you out of your comfort zone. In fact, let me tell you a little bit more about that, right? My job today, even though we're in an auditorium and I look like a teacher, I'm not a teacher. I'm not a teacher. I'm a coach. What's the difference between a coach and a teacher? The teacher imparts knowledge on you in hopes that you will do something about it. The coach takes you from where you are directly to results. It's about challenging you. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what you need to hear. So let me ask you a question. Do I have your permission today to be honest with you? Do I have your permission to hold every one of you in this room accountable? Do I have your permission? Yes. Please raise your hand if I have your permission. Thank you. What was the word yesterday? What was the word yesterday? What was the word? Right. Today we have a different word. No. That's a good word though. Today the word is honesty. What's the word? Honesty. Honesty. That's the word today, guys. Today it's about me being honest with you. And it's about you guys being honest with me. And if that happens, transformations will happen in this room. I guarantee it. But it's based on, so the first breakthrough, the first thing that you have to emotionalize, that you have to understand, is that you need to stop making emotional-based decisions and you need to turn yourself into someone who makes fact-based decisions. The only way it's going to happen is if you start developing systems.